This is how the assignment number 2 will look like. You can have the graphs visible, you can have this problem statement and the task to do sheet visible. So this will be our foolproof model look like when we will complete our assignment 2 and we have completed all the fixed resources utilization of it into the assignment 2. So you can have we have used the processors, combiners, multiprocessors, separators, and you can look how the beautiful model looks like. And let's begin.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel IF 4.0. This is Ajay.
Hello team, welcome to assignment 2. We have already done assignment 1 for the some of the fixed resources, and we are going to continue this assignment 1 coupled with assignment 2 to understand another fixed resource. So we will be understanding combiner, separator and multiprocessor with this assignment number 2. So this was our assignment number 1 model. We have assigned a problem statement for assignment 2, and we also have task to do for assignment number 2. So what we are going to do now is we are going to follow the problem statement step by step. So the first thing which has been told is combiner we need to create with the color white and combine 5 cylinder with palettes colored red. So what we will do is we will pull the combiner into the model and we'll make the color white. Once it's colored white, now we are going to make a connection from the queue to the combiner. And another thing, we are going to have a source because we are going to require a palette which is going to get combined with the cylinders. Now always remember that the combiners port 2 is used for combinations. So port 2 currently we are having for combiner is the source. So we need to change it. We need to make that as Q2 because we need to combine cylinders which will be coming from this Q. So we have made the port of combiner 2 which is Q, and the target quantity is told as 5 cylinders. So we will go and check, yes, 5 cylinders with palettes colored red. So on the source we are going to take palette, we will make it as inter arrival, no another arrival styles we are going to apply. We'll make the inter arrival time as 2 seconds, and we need to change the color of palette now. So we'll go into the toolbox, we'll open the flow item, we'll double click on the palette option, and we'll click on the palette and we'll change the color of palette to red because it has been told that the palette's color should be red. Now once that is done, the process time is of 5 minutes which needs to be applied, so we are going to apply it as 5. So basically it needs to be in minutes. So what we are going to do is we are going to apply it for minutes. So we'll change from here to minutes. So the cycle time is 5 minutes now. So we have applied 5 minutes, 5 cylinders combined, palette color red, and we need to send the part alternately to separator and to the multiprocessor. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one uh, to the multiprocessor and another to the separator. So we are having these two ports. We'll go again into the ports feature and we will check in the output port. We are having multiprocessor and the separator on port number 2. Now what we need to do is we need to send those parts alternatively on alternate machines. So firstly we'll reset and run, we'll check what we are going to have. So we have palette coming on the combiner, we are running the model currently, and what we need to do is we need to combine the palette with 5 cylinders. So we'll check. So this is the first cylinder coming, we will make the model faster. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the issue is in the assignment 1, if you haven't seen assignment 1, I will give you the link in the description for the assignment 1. Kindly watch assignment 1 video first and then you can watch assignment number 2. So in the assignment number 1 for this queue we have given perform batching. That's the reason it is not yet coming on the combiner. It will come after 50 parts already. So what we'll do is we'll reset the model, we'll click on the queue and we will change this perform basing. Now as soon as the cylinder is created, it will come on the combiner. So we'll reset it, we'll run the model, and you can see we are having cylinders coming on the combiner. So we have said that we need to have 5 cylinders. So we have the 5 cylinders, and and one is already there on the multiprocessor, another should come on the separator. Now it has automatically came as per our requirement, send alternate part to the separator and other to the multiprocessor, but this will not work always because we haven't sent any criteria for output from the combiners. If we see, the output of the combiner is first available basis, so we haven't yet applied a logic, so it will not work alternate method. So to make this combiner work on the alternative basis, we will change this send to port to round robin, and we will not use round robin if applicable because we require it to send alternatively. If required, we do not have the question itself, so we will use round robin. Now we will be resetting the model, and what we will do is we will take another step, that is separator. So in separator, now we need to assign process time of 5 minutes and collect the pallets and cylinders in a queue pallet and queue product. So we need to make 2 outputs from the separator now. So we will will move this whole model backwards so that we have enough space to make it ahead. Now what we are doing is we will make one of the queue down here and another queue down to save the space. So we have 2 queues now as told in this statement. What they are now telling is collect pallets and cylinders in queue pallet and queue product. So what we are going to do, we are going to rename this as pallet and we're going to rename this as product. Now what is the thing is we need to separate the combined pallet into pallet and product. So when you go into the separator, there is another 2 methods. We have already seen these all properties when we were learning fixed resource separator. If you haven't watched it, kindly watch the individual videos we have made for each of the equipments for combiner, multiprocessor, separator already. So in the multiprocessor, you already know we have a separator mode, so we are going to put it as unpack because we need to unpack it, and the quantities basically in unpacking we have then the output strategy here. So we'll go into the output. The default separator option is already assigned, so if you open this you will understand that the port for the container is 1 and the port for the contents is 2. That means that the products will be going in the port 2. So yes, products will go into port 2 and it will come into port 1, pallet will come into the port 1. So it is going to work perfectly. We need to assign a cycle time of 5 minutes, so we are here assigning it to 5 minutes, and yes, the separator question is also done. Congratulations. Now we will move to another third question. Multiprocessor is to be created with a process time, like there will be 2 processes, one process with cycle time of 5 minutes and another process with cycle time of 5 minutes, and the output from the processor should have blue color and sent to the queue. So it should be sent to the queue first, so we are taking a queue here, and it should have a blue color on exit. So we are going to do on exit trigger, we are going to we're going to change the visual set color object, sorry, we'll set the object color to blue, so we are going to make it to blue. So it is done. And another thing is, like, they have told that there will be 2 processes created, so we will create process 1 and process 2. So we have created process 1, so process 1 they have told 5 minutes, we'll make this as 5 minutes, and then we will go to the process 2, and there also we will change it to minutes, and we'll make this as 5 minutes. So we have assigned two processes, that is process 1 you can see with 5 minutes of cycle time, and process 2 with 5 minutes of cycle time for the same part. And yes, we have fulfilled all the problem statement for assignment 2. So we have already given this processes to the multiprocessor. We will reset and run the model and check now how this works. So we are going to have this run model faster. So you can see that it will go to the multiprocessor, then out. Then it is going to have the change to the multiprocessor, and then we have the separate content available here. And similarly, it will go on creating like that. So if you see this, this is how it is looking. So if you uncheck this show connections, the connections will be going off. If you want to remove these names, then we can go and click on show nothing. So you will have nothing been shown now. So you can see this how this model works. So basically the modeling logic we have already created, it is completed. So we are having the cylinders been taken care of, been combined. Then we have also separated pallets and the cylinders. On the multiprocessor we are creating two processes for that pallet, process 1, process 2. From this source till this queue is already covered in the assignment 1, and from this queue to the end of the processor multiprocessor is covered in the assignment number 2. So this assignment number 1 and 2, we have completed all the relative examples related to fixed resource. So we have tried to use maximum amount of triggers. We have tried to use all the uh, learnings which we have already learned in the fixed resource individual object understanding videos. So this is assignment 2. What next thing we need to do here is we need to do a task. So task to do is we have created a model. We will stop and we'll reset this model. We will create a Gantt chart. Now we need to have a Gantt chart. So this is our old dashboard which we have already created for assignment 1. I will add another blank dashboard, and I'll remove this dashboard as of, and I will bring a Gantt chart. So if you see here, we have here state Gantt. So I'll click this state Gantt, I'll arrange it, and I'll select the options, or I can also, so I will select it from the speaker multiprocessor, and we'll reset and run, and we'll check whether the Gantt is getting created. No another thing is required as of, we do not have anything coming. So now you can see the Gantt is getting ready. We are having a Gantt chart for it. So processing is shown in this, rest of the thing is in idle, which is in gray color. Blocked is going to be in light pink color. So this is a Gantt chart for our processor. So I'll reset this, I'll rename this as state Gantt multiprocessor state Gantt. And another thing what we need to do is we need to calculate the line throughput. So I will make another thing is the output, which is with the bar graph type, and I will select this last queue for calculating the throughput. Basically the throughput needs to be taken on the multiprocessor, because queue we are not sending output. So if you are not sending output, we are not going to get the value in the graph. So I'm making this faster. So we are having this throughput coming out here from multiprocessor. You can calculate the throughput for this queue, you can calculate for any equipment available here. Just the condition is it should send out. So if you want to calculate the output for this queue, you need to connect a sink here, and then you need to connect the queue to the sink. If you're going to do that way, the queue will be sending an output to the sink. So that time you are going to have the throughput data sets coming here. So I will reset the model. I will make this small. So we have made created model, created logic, created Gantt multiprocessor, and calculated the line throughput. And the in the assignment number one, the last task to do was remaining, like it was told to find out the bottleneck into the line. So the bottleneck would be the processor, because the maximum cycle time machine will always act as a bottleneck. So we are going to have bottleneck as the processor in the line. In this assignment 2 also, we are going to have the bottleneck as the processor, because processor in total has 12 minutes of cycle time, but the multiprocessor has only 10 minutes of cycle time. So our bottleneck in the assignment 2 will also be the processor number, this processor. So I will once again reset and run the model, and we have completed the assignment number 2. Thank you team, thank you guys for your support and being with us. We'll continue our journey in learning Flexsim and Industry 4.0 simulation. Continue with us for this extraordinary journey. So we have completed the fixed resource as of now. Our next video will be soon coming on the task executors. So stay tuned, stay safe. Thank you.